sono alla ricerca dell'origine sommersa da cui Luki proveniva. Una vita in cui tra il quotidiano e lo straordinario non è mai esistito un vero confine.
Use the animated conceit in a way that I thought made it very accessible around the idea of queer identity and growing up in a setting in which might not be that conducive to who you are as a person. I thought the piece reflected a good sense of self-awareness and a sense of empathy towards the central character that I thought made a lot of sense and made the piece easy to get into, as well as sort of having the historical backdrop of the location and the feminist movement within that space and the queer movement within that space, which I thought gave it a more big picture feel, reflected with a sort of grounded emotional feel when the story is sort of centered on our main subject. So I thought the animation style was cool as well, and I thought the sort of narrated documentary type conceit helped create an elevated sense for the overall piece.
I love that it was a mix of animation and live action. We had the real life story behind the animation, the origins of Luki Massa, one of the first lesbian activists in the 80s, which I thought was really cool. We sort of saw her backstory here. And I love that it was based on true events. I loved how we had these old photographs that the animation was based on and that they matched them perfectly. So that they had that transition between what the real life picture looked like and then how it was animated, which I thought was really cool. The narration was also well done. I love listening to that and following along with the story. And the animation with the hand-drawn effects was beautiful as well.
Informative, but also just such a strong narrative. And I guess a lot of times some of the best stories are really just lifted from real life. This just really felt like life at a portside city in Italy. Just beautifully. I just love the way everything was done with this one. And again, that it was so informative. We got to learn about Lucy, who I formerly had no idea about. But what a strong character and just a great start for a film like this. I really enjoyed the animation, that treatment there to carry us through that story, keep things visually interesting because. The text, the narrative, that stuff was already really strong. So pairing it with a strong visual like that was great.
The whole like parallels between like the animation and then the live action or like the true story, I thought that played well off each other and added like context. You know what I mean? I thought that was a great, narrative technique. I also like the animation style. It gave like almost like storybook, and it was like aesthetically pleasing in that way. So like the vibe of like for example like the backgrounds were like they felt like a page out of a storybook that came to life that's moving, and I rock with that.
It's kind of like the short that showing how to become like a good coming of age kind of person. They just figure out like their own sexuality, their own life without like a guidance in life as a woman, as a female person in this world. So I feel like this short is pretty like touching, it's emotional, but at the same time it's lively because it's about kid, it's about like their own adventure. So there's some like bright and like dark tone like within like one story, but it's still fun to watch and it's good to see like as a kid who want to explore their own like life and figure out their own future as like as an LGBTQ plus like person in this world.